Okay, we ready? Yeah. Okay. First, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today for our announcement. Transition within programs are never always easy. So I would first like to thank the student athletes, their families, and the staff for their assistance, for their support, and for their understanding during our transition. Each year, we always evaluate our programs, and a lot of times our fans help us in that evaluation, and I can agree with our fans when I say our men's ice hockey program is doing great things. We believe that on the ice, our men's program has evolved very well in the last 3 years, as is evident with our fourth place finish in the CCHA and advancing to the semifinals. What our fans may not know is that our student athletes on our men's hockey program are also excelling very well in the classroom. They're doing great things in the class, but they're also great representatives of this university and this department within our community. So we believe we have a very good program right now in the locker room. We have great student athletes. So when we opened up this position, we knew that there would be a lot of interest in leading our men's ice hockey program. But the more that I talked with our student athletes and our staff and Coach Rohlik over the past week, I knew that we wouldn't have to look very far for the next head coach of our program. During his interview, he clearly conveyed his experience, his understanding of the game, but most importantly, his passion for Ohio State hockey. So as we move into the Big Ten Conference in men's ice hockey, which will arguably be one of the most competitive conferences in college hockey, we're proud to have Coach Steve Rohlik leading this program forward. He has been an integral part of this program for the last 3 years in developing our program to where we are now, and we look forward to having him lead this program into the Big Ten Conference. So I'm very pleased to introduce to you the new head coach of the Ohio State men's ice hockey program, Steve Rohlik. Hey, Coach.
Hi, guys. Thanks for coming. First, I guess I'd like to thank Gene Smith, Chris Schneider, and the administration for giving me this opportunity to stand here today as your new head coach. I'm truly honored, humbled, and very blessed. I certainly wouldn't be here without the support of my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sisters back home, my wife Julie, my 3 kids Aaron, Annie, and Grady, and the many great friends that have helped shape my life. Also, I would like to thank the hockey community, the many people that impacted me over the past 40-plus years as a player and coach. But today, it's about Buckeye hockey. And we are excited moving into the Big Ten Conference and building on the foundation that has been set, that has been laid. Our staff and our players know there's many challenges that lie ahead, and we're ready to face those challenges head on. We want this team, and we want this community, we want this university and the city of Columbus. We want this to be proud, the team. We want this team and the Alumni University and City of Columbus to be proud of. Again, I thank you very much for coming, and I can answer any questions.
I'm Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch. For you need us to introduce ourselves. What has this last 9 days been like? I'm sure that it was not expected. What happened?
Last 9 days have been a whirlwind, to be honest with you. Emotional roller coaster, whirlwind, and happy I got to the point Monday where I got a chance to interview for the job here.
Obviously, first head coaching job at a Division I level. Is this something you've been wanting for a long time, something you feel you're ready for? Just kind of comment on sort of your career progression to get to this point and then being ready to take over a program like this.
Well, I think 40-plus years for me being a player and a coach, 21 years as a coach, has put me in this position. Every level I've been at as a player, I've been a leader, been a captain. Feels like I've been coaching since I've been 7 years old. So over this experience, it's put me in a position where I can stand here today and honestly say I'm ready to be a head coach. The journey's been a long journey, but truly I feel ready for this position from my experience.
Just a couple quick things, just about in your time here, in working with Mark in particular, the program really seemed like it was improving. What did he do that laid that foundation that you think you want to build up? What did he do well that you would try to incorporate in your approach as a head coach?
Well, I think over the 3 years we had a goal in mind, and that was to have players that bought into the system, play with passion, and we've got to do it the right way. The product on the ice, the hockey mind, those are some of the things that I got to take with my staff here and move forward. He certainly brought those qualities, and that's something that I got to continue to move forward on and continue with the passion to help this program moving forward.
The other thing is, it's obviously going to be a big year of change going to a new conference, the way that the Big Ten is going to shape up. There's some old foes, clearly you know very well, but it will be a different league. How will that impact what you try to do, especially in terms of recruiting, how you go out and look for athletes?
Well, fortunately, I've been in all these rinks now, so I have an experience of all the Big Ten schools. We're going to work extremely hard. Recruiting is a lifeline of your program. And, I have Joe, who has many connections, has worked awfully hard here over the last 2 years. We will go out and find another assistant coach out there that is going to bleed scarlet and gray. And we are going to go out there and find the best players possible that want to be part of this program, that want to be passionate, that want to be Buckeyes. And we will do everything we can, and it's all about character. We will search for the best kid out there and have him come down and fit into our locker room.
In terms of style of play and that kind of thing, do you expect that the team will look similar to what it has in the past couple of years, or where might things be different on the ice?
Well, I think you can't change everything when you have the same players. You're adding a few new players. We want to build on what we have. I think we want to allow our guys to be a little more creative, getting up and down the ice. We certainly want to play to our strengths. This past year, we had the All-American goalie Brady Jelly, so we knew if we kept the score down, we probably gave ourselves a pretty good chance to win. That will evolve when we add our new players to what we have. But we want to be able to play tough defensive hockey. We don't want to be easy to play against. We want to compete awfully hard. That's not going to change. But at the same time, we want to allow our kids, again, be creative, help them develop, and hopefully over time we want to help these kids get to the next level too as well.
Oz was obviously a guy you've known for a long time, going back to mid-'80s in Minnesota. He's the guy that brought you here. You coached with him for 3 years. What made you want to stay here after his departure? And I mean, is that kind of awkward at all, or is that how are you kind of approaching that?
Yeah, it certainly was an emotional week. There's no question on that. But when I went through this whole week, I look at the kids we have in this locker room. I look at the staff we have and the people around here and the passion for Ohio State hockey. I certainly felt that I needed to express that to the administration, and that I felt my time was ready. Certainly just not an exact blueprint of how you get to this spot. There isn't a book that you can read and you're going to get to the ending. And my journey's taken a lot of different paths. But I believed in myself. I believe in this program. And I think truly that's when I sat down with the administration. They told me the support they had moving into the Big Ten. I knew this was the place I wanted to be.
You just asked kind of about what do you want to do similarly to Oz. At the same time, obviously he's a guy that's not here anymore. What are you going to have to do differently to kind of separate yourself from him?
Well, I think I'm a different person. I mean, I'm going to have different qualities. Our team's going to see that as we move forward. That is all going to evolve. We're going to have a little bit of a different staff. We got great support people back here that are incredible. We're going to add one more person to our staff. So once you get all those pieces in a room, I think you'll see everything evolve and things will start to change. You'll have some things that might look the same, but I think that just takes time.
How comfortable are you with the facilities that Ohio State has right now? I mean, you had to play in the playoffs and the ice rink, share this place. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the last time I checked, we won in the old arena to go up to Joe Louis, so we were pretty happy about that. But, I mean, the facilities and the resources here at Ohio State are second to none. We play in a fantastic building. Everybody has their wish list, but when you walk a player into this building and they see this ice sheet, they're blown away. And that's what we got to continue to move forward. There's, 59 or so hockey teams in college hockey, and if you walk around at all the different facilities, I think everybody would be pretty pleased coming back here and looking at this building.
Especially moving into the Big Ten Conference now, what are reasonable expectations or goals for this Ohio State hockey program?
Finish in the top 6? No, just kidding. There's only 6 teams. But, expectations, I'd like to think our expectations are high. We know we're playing in the best league in the country. We're playing a lot against, quote-unquote, the powerhouses of college hockey. But you know what? That's why we're here, and that's why we're moving into that conference. I feel good about what we have in the locker room. I feel good about the kids we got coming in. We're going to compete. We're going to show up. And I'd like to think that we'll give ourselves a chance to win a lot of hockey games.
What is the status of recruiting? Have you had to really kind of reassure recruits that this is still the place for them?
No question. I think Joe and I spent an awful lot of time this week, trying to reassure without any situation of concrete here. And now, with today, we can go full out and let these kids know. We've got every NLI back this week, which is really important. So all the kids that we're in the mix with right now, it's been a good rapport back and forth. So we're really comfortable right now moving forward. Ohio State is the Ohio State, and that's the message that Joe and I and the rest of our staffs and our new coach will continue to spread that message. So I'm very, very positive and optimistic that these kids will see the light and feel the passion of why they're coming here to play hockey.
When you first heard the news of the coaching change, did you know right away that you wanted to throw your hat in the ring here, or did you have a moment when you thought, well, I'm out of here too?
That was the first question I had. Am I here? Am I going? Where are we at? I think that's just reality. And then once this process went and the first inclination, is this going to be opened up? Where do you sit? So you certainly have to have some time by yourself to reflect and figure out where things are going. And I certainly was in that position at that time.
How long did it take until you knew, okay, I want to take my shot to try to get this job?
Well, I think as the first couple days went through, and again, my feeling about the program and knowing the kids that I have and knowing the people that are here and wanting to be part of that, I think was the driving force behind me and our meetings as the week went on. And to get to a point where they said, okay, we're going to open this thing up and we're going to talk to people and we will have an interview process with you on Monday. So I think as the week went on, I know in my mind I knew this is the place I wanted to be, and I want to make sure and spread that message to the administration here and to the people of Ohio State.
And how was Mark in terms of supporting you, telling you what kind of job this was, what you were walking into?
Well, I mean, again, an emotional week, and for Mark, for all of us, for myself, the most important thing right now, I would imagine, is Mark's taking care of his family and trying to figure out what his path is. He's been very supportive of me always, and that's something that we will have and will continue to have.
Saw the picture of your first meeting with the team. I think that you've had a lot of support from them through this whole thing. Just what was it like to address them for the first time and kind of go through that?
Pretty surreal. When you put the skates on at 3 years old and you go through this process and this journey, you dream about one day standing in a locker room addressing your team. My dream came true today. And to talk with these guys, They know my passion. They know where I sit. And I think this is going to be the driving force for this program moving forward and for these guys. Any other questions? Thank you very much for coming.